Welcome to another In the Geek Room 2018. As I sit here, is nearly over. So, here's my book. I went through earlier. I went through my diary of all the list of all the films I've seen at the cinema and Blu-rays. So here it is. I'm going to do my little end of year review. First end of year review. Like I said, I'm using my notes on this, so if I'm not looking at the camera, which I'm supposed to be doing, rather than looking at my screen, see what I'm doing, you'll understand why. This is my third review. Not really third review. I've just did my Transformers one and my Bumblebee. Sorry, let me phrase it. I've just finished a Bumblebee one and a Spider-Verse. December, time of year where everything goes to shot, and I really didn't do that much on the front of vlogging or whatever you want to call it. So at the cinema this year, I sat through 31 films. Admittedly, one of them was a what I'd seen before, which was Ant-Man. Saw it on a double bill with Ant-Man and Wasp. I sat through Wasp 3 times, Infinity War 3 times, Solo twice, and Fantastic Beasts 2 twice, Friends of Grindelwald. So that goes to show you the ones that I truly loved. Okay, let's do my... okay, I'll go a little shout out to Netflix first. The two Netflix films, Annihilation and The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Two films I'd love to have seen on the big screen or went straight to Netflix. This is the problem with cinema this year, is smaller films are being put straight through to streaming or completely bypassing cinema and going to the movie channels and everything. So hopefully 2019 will change it, but I don't see us seeing the way the future is going. Is cinema's just going to be for blockbusters. Smaller ones, you're going to get lucky if it gets a week somewhere or so. Support the local cinemas and support smaller films, because nothing beats sitting in a dark cinema and just watching a great movie. Is not the same feeling sitting at home where you can pause it, or you can just go on IMDb just to find out an actress or an actor you like. I love the whole thing about sitting in the cinema and being closed off and not looking at my phone for 1.5 to 3 hours, depending on the film. And I think this is going, the way things are going, it's going to be a lost thing. This is my rant for this. Anybody who knows me will know that I rant about this all the time. So apologies. Okay, so this year I sat through 31 films at the cinema. So, and that's including the multiples. So if you knock that out, you'll be looking at about 28, 29. Started the year with, I'll just list them, I might as well, just so you can see what I actually sat through. Darkest Hour, The Post, Ready Player One, Infinity War, Deadpool 2, Solo, Jurassic World 2, Black Panther, Super Troopers 2, Incredibles 2, Ant-Man and Wasp, The Predator, Venom, Star Wars Born, Bad Times at El Royale. That's a great film. Bohemian Rhapsody, I sat through that one twice. Brilliant film. Slaughterhouse Rules, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them too. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, should I say? Creed 2, Wreck-It Ralph Breaks, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Bumblebee. When I say it like that, it doesn't sound like much, but, you know, all the stuff I've watched again on the Blu-ray and everything, so, I've been doing a lot of stuff this year when it comes to those. I did a few conventions, so, you know, it's been a very productive year for me in terms of geekiness and everything. But of all these films that I have on my list, I've got to say The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, fantastic. It was a Netflix thing, you know. Coen Brothers, I would like to have seen it on the big screen. It was just nice. It was different. It was enjoyable. It was Coen Brothers. I love the Coen Brothers. Big Lebowski, anybody who knows me, is one of my favourite movies. And it's like Llewyn Davis, of course, recently, a few years ago, which would have probably, if it had been released this year, would have gone straight to Netflix as well. But Ballad of Buster Scruggs, fantastic film. Really enjoyed it. Made me laugh. It did. Annihilation, which was, you know, Annihilation was a fantastic film. It was all being advertised to go straight to the cinema. It was, so then just to find out it goes straight to Netflix last December, it was kind of annoying. It was, but I'm just going to pull Annihilation up right now. You see, this is all done in one take. Which is Alex Garland, who did the incredible Ex Machina, and, you know, I'm right, he wrote the 28 Days films. 28 Days, 28 Weeks. Yeah, but Ex Machina, absolutely fantastic film it was. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But Annihilation was one of these films which, to be honest with you, when I sat down and watched it, I was actually sitting in this chair that I actually sit on when I'm doing these reviews. I closed all the curtains, had all the lights, nothing on, and nothing on other than the things, should I say. I wasn't naked watching it. And I had my popcorn, my snacks, my phone was off, everything. I wanted to recreate the cinema experience as best I could. But nothing beats the cinema experience. Annihilation should have had a cinema release. That's that rant over. Yeah. When it comes to superhero films, though, this year my favourite one was Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was just so enjoyable, and I got a nice Janet Van Dyne Funko Pop, which is one of the because I was a big fan of Michelle Pfeiffer in the '90s, so having her in the film was absolutely brilliant. Like I said, I've listed all the films I've seen, so they're all good. Didn't really see a bad one. A Star Was Born, of course, not the sort of geeky thing that I normally do on this sort of page, but it's in the Geek Room. So my page, I can actually say it. A Star Was Born was brilliant. Kind of overshadowed by Bohemian Rhapsody, which I know there's been a lot of people saying about, it wasn't true to life and everything. It's a great musical. It is absolutely fantastic. The soundtrack is superb. It's not just a rehash of the greatest hits collection. Live tracks, sort of exclusive, if I'm right, the Live Aid set that's on it. And the ending is one of the best 20 minutes and one of those fun 20 minutes. It's great. I'm not going to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it, but go see Bohemian Rhapsody. Buy it when it comes out, watch it on whatever service you actually watch it on. But Bohemian Rhapsody, absolutely superb film if you love music, and the music is spot on. It ranks as my favourite soundtrack of the year. It does, so that's best soundtrack of the year goes Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes, it was. But it has, like I said, it's been a good year for the quote blockbusters which have dominated and everything. Shout out to Super Troopers 2, a film that I had to travel all the way to. I think I travel about 30 miles to go and see it, but worth it. Super Troopers 2, film that went straight to download, not on DVD in the UK or Blu-ray, which is kind of bad. I love the Brooklyn Lizard Troop. They're absolutely fantastic. Hopefully they'll do the Beer Fest sequel this year, or next year, should I say, or go into production. But Super Troopers 2, if you haven't seen it, the funniest film of the year. Absolutely loved it. Like I said, small budget. They had a Indiegogo campaign, which I supported, I will admit, because it is brilliant. And Super Troopers 2 was absolutely hysterically funny. I loved it. My fiance loved it. Like I said, Infinity War, brilliant. Can't wait for Endgame, which is next year. And of course, Captain Marvel. Looking forward to that. So, like I said, Bad Times at El Royale, Jeff Bridges, fantastic film, Drew Goddard. It's brilliant, very Tarantino-esque. If you haven't seen it, go see it when it comes out on whatever service you watch it on. So yeah, this year has been a good film for the blockbusters, and I'm finding a lot of films on Netflix to watch, the Netflix exclusive, which is good if you're a subscriber, but the downside is this is the way movies and cinema, I should say movies, is going, that people are just going to be able to sit down and watch them in their own home pools and everything. Hopefully there'll be a change, in the UK, there's another thing, this bad thing. HMV got into administration last week. Hopefully they'll work their way out like they did a few years ago. The loss of HMV for music and movies would be a real loss in the UK, because people like myself, that's where we get our Blu-rays from, and my music comes from there, because I don't buy mainstream, and I do still like going out and purchasing real music rather than I like to have physical copies. So hopefully HMV can be saved again. So that's that. I'll look at the Blu-rays. Blu-ray list. Here like I said, Last Jedi came out on Blu-ray, which was absolutely fantastic. Great documentary on there. One I watched a few years old was What We Do in the Shadows. I last got around to watching it from a recommendation from a friend. If you haven't seen it, great vampire film, one of the best ones since From Dusk Till Dawn. Blade Runner 2049 came out on Blu-ray again. Good one. It is. Ant-Man and Wasp, of course, my favourite one, film of the year. So that was good watching that on Blu-ray. So that's it. Funko Pops have been dominating. Everybody knows I like Funkos. So convention-wise, catching GeekCon was great, and this is a local one for me. It was sadly there's been no announcement for one of 2019. Hope Northampton Comic Con. I enjoyed that, but it's the Space Centaurs, the Science of the Time Lords, superb, spot on, perfect, and the Return of the Garrison for Star Wars. So they were two great conventions, and for where I am, nice to see in the Midlands, nice to see some conventions popping up, and some smaller ones. And If you've never been to the National Space Centre in Leicester, go to National Space Centre in Leicester, support it. It is really, really good. They do have great conventions and events. National Space Centre Leicester, can't overemphasise that. So that's been my one take roundup of 2018. Thank you for watching. Thank you for if you're one of my subscribers. Thank you for supporting In the Geek Room. There'll be more content next year, and I'll try and keep a little bit more up to date and do more videos, hopefully some more professional ones. This will be my first year doing this. This will be my first end of year roundup. So thank you for following me, watching this video. See you all in another In the Geek Room. Have a great 2019. And see you with more stuff in 2019. Thank you. See you all again.